Thank you so much for that, Stephanie. And hello, everybody. I'm Cyd Dawson. I'm the Documentation and Training Specialist here at Axiom. And we're just going to talk a little bit about our LMS. So just a super brief overview for those of you who hear lots of three-letter acronyms and are like, I keep hearing this LMS. What does that even mean? It's short for Learning Management System. And if you work at a college or a university, you've got one there. It's probably called Canvas or Blackboard or DTL or some other sort of thing like that. So we've decided to implement an LMS here at Axiom to help our client base better navigate using our product. And so I'm going to just sort of take you through the process of how you get access to the LMS, what the LMS looks like once you're inside of it, and also just talk about just some basic information that you're going to encounter and how to, and all of that other fun stuff. So first off, be aware that yes, there's a certain amount of training that already exists in the LMS, but I've got a whole bunch of it on the back burner that is in various stages of being developed as well as being reviewed. So I would highly recommend that if you haven't been to the LMS in a while, please go back and check. There's probably some courses there that you didn't even know were. So let's take a look. Alex, if you'll bring up my screen, please. So when you first start a project, or if you happen to decide that you want to request access to the LMS through our support portal, and Dave will take you through that a little bit later, you will receive this email, and it just says Axiom Learn. Welcome to Axiom Learn. You're going to click on it, and when you open it up, you're going to notice that there is a link to learn.axiomhighered.com. You're going to click on that link. That is going to load this sign-in page. Now, you are still not signed into the LMS at this point. What you will do here is you're going to type in your email address that is associated with your Axiom Elite account. That means it's typically going to end with a .edu. We're going to click on Sign In, and then I'm going to receive a second email. So I go to my inbox, and there it is. And you can see Axiom Learn Login. When I click on this link, I am provided with two different ways of accessing the system. One just says, please click the following link to log in, and the other has a copy and paste URL. If one doesn't work, go ahead and use the other. Sometimes email programs do weird things when you embed links. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Please be aware that this link is absolutely positively just for me. And when you receive your email, that link will be absolutely positively just for you. So please don't share your link. All right, so I have logged on. And as you can see, I'm a pro user. Not everybody is, but those who are pro users have access to a little bit additional training. I'm going to sort of just take you through the interface now. So when you first get into the LMS, you're going to be brought to the Start Here page. And the Start Here page is where you're going to find just sort of the basic courses that we would expect different people to be interested in taking or need to take as a result of being a part of a project. So you can see we've got our client portal training, and we've got our glossary index. And so this allows you to look up various terms that are related to Axiom. Please be aware the glossary is also a work in progress. So once again, you might go in there and say, I'm not seeing the term I need. That's okay. It's probably in the process of getting added. Okay, we've also got a couple of courses related to Axiom Elite version 24 and version 23. The LMS courses only go back as far as version 23, and most of the training is going to be specific to version 24, just as an FYI. The other thing to know is that we've got our events down here. So right now you'll see Axiom Afternoons. And as we get a little bit more content in it, we're also going to see that first Thursdays available in there for you to look at as well. Okay, so here near the top of your screen, so you've got your giant header here, and you've got these different text items. And as you hover over them, you can see they change colors. These are each individual tabs. I'm going to click on My Trainings. And what My Trainings brings up is all of the stuff that I have started, that's been assigned to me, anything that is particular to the goals that I've already got set up for training within the LMS. So you can click on individual courses, individual items, and I'll take you through a course in just a moment as well. The next item up here with the tabs is Learn HQ. Learn HQ is where you will find what we call paths. Paths are predefined series of courses. So as opposed to saying, I'm going to take a course about the verifier and then I'm going to take a course about the record manager, it might be that you have to take a very specific course for instance, if I click into the Axiom Elite version 24 end user training, the first training that you see is the dashboard basics. And so in order to move on to verifier basics, you would have to successfully complete dashboard basics. So that's what the path does. And the goal is that somewhere in the future, not too distant future, I might add, we're looking at having certifications. So you'll be able to get certified in Axiom Elite software. Next step, I'm going to go back and we're going to look at training collections. So in the training collections, these are a little bit more a la carte. In other words, if I click on Axiom Elite Training version 24 in here, as opposed to being presented with a path, I have different tiles indicating different courses that are available. So if you are a person who's already been using Axiom Elite for a little while and you just want a little refresher on, say, the verifier, for instance, then you can come in here and take just this one individual course. I'm going to pop open this Axiom Elite Overview course because I think there's some really cool stuff in here, and it'll allow me the opportunity to sort of show you what it looks like to take a course, as well as a lot of the elements that exist. So this is what a course looks like when you're inside of it. We've got our various little headers that indicate different sections within the course. And then we've got the pieces and parts of the course itself. So I'm going to click here on completing courses. And this is going to actually launch the course in question in the completing courses area. So it's just a welcome. And the idea behind this particular page is that you're going to be taken through all of the different interface sorts of options that you'll see within the Axiom LMS. So this first item is a flip card. I use these quite a bit. You click on flip, flips to the other side, allows you to see some additional information. We've got condensed information using an accordion element. So I can click on this and I can see an expansion of additional information. These elements are great because they allow you to not have a gigantic wall of text and allow you to sort of interact with the environment. We've got a call out. So if there's something in particular that we feel requires your attention, then it'll be in one of these call outs. We've got multiple choice questions. So there may be one or more correct answers. Typically, it'll say select all correct answers, and you're not going to receive credit unless you select all of them. We've also got this really cool item known as a hotspot, and you can just click on a particular area of the screen. And when you're just leave your clicker there, and when you get to the end of the page, you'll notice that there is a submit button. So you're just going to submit. Some folks get confused because a little trash can appears, and that's only there if you realize, no, that's not where I wanted to click. I need to get rid of that click. Okay, and then the last sort of interactive assessment piece is we've got these matching tiles. So on the left, you'll see pictures or you'll see a term, and on the right will typically be something that matches with whatever you see on the left. To match the items, you're going to click on the item on the left and you're going to drag it over to the right until it notches together like a puzzle piece. So we're not stacking them one on top of the other. They're actually fitting together like puzzle pieces. And the last element that I'm going to look at super quickly is there will be videos. And so all of the videos have a transcript and they also have closed captioning available. So if that's the way you prefer to watch videos or you need that for accessibility purposes, I've made certain to include that in all of them. If you happen to complete a video and that is not your experience, I do ask that you reach out to me. I'll also be popping my email address up at the end. Okay, so that's what we're looking at as far as collections. So the last thing we want to look at are events. And as we can see, we've got our first Thursdays already up here. So if you go into the LMS, you'll be able to click into First Thursdays and you'll see a list of all of the upcoming episodes. And look at that, you can register from right within the LMS. So you can find out about what the events are, click on register. It'll bring you right in the StreamYard and you'll be able to register just like if the link had been shared with you in an email or on social media or in a Slate form. So just know that that's available to you as well. The same applies for our Axiom Afternoons. So with Axiom Afternoons, we've got the ability to register for the future episodes. We don't have all of the topics up yet, but that's cool. But what we also have, because we've already had these episodes happen and we've got them recorded, is you can click on this button that says Access Content, and that allows you to watch the video from that particular event. So all of our events, we're recording them. We're making certain folks have access to them, and you can come here within the LMS and take a look at them. Furthermore, with the first Thursdays, the intention is to also take some of those videos, maybe edit them down a little bit and incorporate them into some of the courses. So you won't necessarily have to come over to the events tab. They'll be part and parcel of what it is you're learning and how you're learning. And I think that that's pretty much it in terms of the LMS. If anybody's got any questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments section. And I just want to sort of give you a little bit more information about what's in the future. So moving forward, we're looking at continuing to roll out additional courses. We're also looking at adding what are known as SCORM modules. SCORM modules are really cool. They're interactive modules, and they're interactive in a different way than what's already in the LMS. With SCORM, I'm going to be able to create modules for you that are basically simulations of using the Axiom Elite software. So as opposed to just looking at still images and maybe occasionally clicking on a still image, you're actually going to be able to do something that will mimic the processes that we're trying to convey to you. And those take a little bit longer to develop, and we want to make certain that they work really well. So they are still in a review stage, but keep your eyes peeled because those are coming. And then the last thing, I mentioned it briefly, I just want to bring it up again. We're going to be looking at setting up certification pathways, and the certification pathways are going to be really cool. Because not only are you going to be able to complete a series of courses and be able to tell all your friends and neighbors how awesome you are at using Axiom Elite, you'll be able to share those certifications on LinkedIn, and you'll be able to print something off to share with HR or in any other way that would help. That would be beneficial to you moving forward in what you're trying to do. So I just want to bring up, Alex, can you please bring up the banner with the web address for me, please? Thank you. So learn.axiomhighered.com is how you access our LMS once you have been granted access. If you have not been granted access yet, you will not be able to log in. You're not going to have anything happen when you go here. So please be aware that you've got to follow the steps of either requesting access using a support ticket or being part of a project where that's already part and parcel of the onboarding process. This is also where you would go if you were granted access to the LMS, say a year ago, and you did it a year ago and there were only like 5 courses, and you're like, oh, I want to go back and see what's happening in there now. If you go to learn.axiomhighered.com and enter your work email address again, that will get you right back into your profile. So I think those are all of everything that I've got right now. I don't see any questions related to the LMS, but we'll be doing a roundtable at the end, like Nicole mentioned, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that come up for you in the meantime. Thanks.